Hi everyone. So I showed you the objects the way I see them, and now I'm going to show you how to make sure that those objects that I'm drawing will fit on the paper and how to make sure that they are centered. And that involves two things. First of all, careful observation, and second, this viewfinder that I made with cardboard and rubber bands. It has this nice crosshair right in the middle, and that's going to help me center them. But first, let's talk about margins, and I'm going to use this marker because it's easier to see on a video. First thing I do is I draw these faint lines to show an area that I'm going to try not to cross as I draw. And you can see I'm doing it freehand. The next thing I do, and I make sure that my space has the same aspect ratio as my viewfinder, which it roughly does, is I draw the crosshairs on the viewfinder right here on my drawing area. So that's going to help me, as I said, center the objects. Then I do an analysis. What's the tallest thing I'm seeing right now? Well, that has to be this green bottle. So then I ask myself, how big do I want to make this green bottle? Do I want to include the entire bottle on my drawing surface? And the answer is probably yes. So I am going to place the top of this bottle here. And then I look at the bottom and I decide that it ends sort of here. So seeing that this is what I have to work with, I realized that this bottle can't be very wide. It has to be skinny because that's what I have here, a skinny bottle. So I draw a line of symmetry and I make the skinniest neck I can and a skinny body. And I don't worry that this is a perfect bottle because I am going to work on the proportions and the details later. Right now I'm only interested in how big is the object and what's the footprint on this table. The next object I look at with my viewfinder is the big pot right next to the bottle. And the crosshairs show me that the top of that pot falls about here and that the bottom of that pot falls here. So this is what I have to work with. And I see that the form is roundish, so that's what I'm going to do here. And I'm going to put the bottom of the pot here, and I see the opening is about this big. So next, I have to ask myself, how much smaller is this pot I have in front? And that's hard to tell right now. I tell myself, well, I have to focus on just how big it's going to be. So with the viewfinder, I realize that the top of that pot falls about here, and the bottom is the most forward one that I'm seeing, roughly here. So thinking of that and looking again back and forth at the pot I have, I make a basic shape here and roughly what I think this pot looks like. The opening of it falls at around here and there's a neck. So now I have blocked in the shapes that I see. They're somewhat centered, and I am ready to now measure this and also draw more details and make corrections like this. All right, I hope this was helpful.